Welcome to my channel, Boys Renovation. Last year, I resurfaced a sidewalk. And by the way, I'm not a professional contractor or any of that. I'm a homeowner, I try stuff, and I put that on YouTube. If I could help somebody with what I'm doing, good, and we'll go from there. So like I was saying, last year, I resurfaced a sidewalk. I want to show you before and after. So look, this is the old sidewalk. I think that sidewalk was about 40 years old. That thing was pretty messed up. You see pretty good over here. On the right side of the screen, the whole thing's all delaminated and it's pretty messed up. And by the way, I was asking around what I should do with that sidewalk, and most people, I will say 90% of the people was telling me jackhammer the whole thing and restore from scratch. And me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to jackhammer the whole thing. I don't have a problem with the work. But what I'm going to do with the old sidewalk? Now I need to pay money to ship that in the landfill, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm like, you must have a way to resurface the whole thing here. And I'm going to show you the result on my resurface thing. So look, this is how that thing look right now. So look, the old one, resurface. The old one, resurface. And that resurface sidewall that I did last year, and those pictures, by the way, and from this year in 2023. And I resurfaced the whole thing in 2022. So that new sidewall, I've been through winter. And when I said winter, this is how that thing looked like in winter where I came from. In Canada, in the north of Saskatchewan. We have snow, the temperature reached minus 30 degrees Celsius. I don't know how much it is in Fahrenheit. I'm going to have to do a conversion. So that sidewalk has been through winter, and look what it looked like this year. It's fine. It's fine. And I'm going to go to a project. I'm going to do the same thing what I did last year, and I'm going to resurface about 100 feet of sidewalk. I want to show you the project that I'm getting into. So let's take a look at it. And this is a project that we're going to do, boys. Look at that thing. It's a mess. It's super old. You see all the crack that you have in there. I'm assuming it's about 40 years old. That freaking thing. Very old. Yeah, you could see the bump over here. I'm talking about almost 3/4 of an inch bump. So we see over here that's the entire project. We're gonna go from the street over here. When we do the whole thing, reach the house, we got that little sideway towards the house, and we go in the backyard over here. That's, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's more than 100 feet. It's close to 100 feet. So that's a pretty big project. So this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna get started. So here we go. First thing first is to dig around that stupid sidewalk. It's quite a bit physical, but it's not that bad. Got a shovel over here, go to the grass, and one pile of grass at a time. That's it. That's what I did for all around it. So here we go. From there, I'm going to go for a fast forward. There's no too much comment to say about it. I mean, you remove the grass around the sidewalk. You need to dig a hole. So I'm going to go fast forward from there. And here I'm going to show you a little bit closer the whole idea with that 2x4 to build that form. So the 2x4 has to be 3/4 of an inch above the existing sidewalk. So I have to dig at least 3 inch deeper. That's the whole idea of that 2x4. You have to be at least 3/4 of an inch above to build. So here, to be able to put a 2x4 to build a form, you could see I have a nail bar, and I just dig a little bit deeper to be able to put that 2x4 on the side of the sidewalk. I just take the nail bar and I dig, and I put the dirt, put it in the bucket, and remove the dirt, put it on the side of it. That's what I'm doing. Just dig deeper to be able to put a 2x4 around that sidewalk. And over here, look, I take a 2x4 and I take a look if I'm able to go deep enough. This case is pretty deep, so I know I'm fine. Okay, so we dig a hole all around the sidewalk. It's deep enough. Now the next step is to clean the old sidewalk. So the way you do that, I use my grinder in a special grinding wheel that I'm going to show you right now. I bought that thing at Amazon. So I bought this. I'm going to put the link in the description. That thing is cheap, around $16. And I bought a better one. I bought that one over here, almost, I don't know, twice and a half the price. But I'm going to tell you one thing, guys. This one over here lasts twice longer than this one. This one works, but if you buy that one lasts twice longer. You get way more out of it than this one. So, just to let you know. So both of them, I'm going to put the link in Amazon on the description down there. So we're going to get at it. That thing was, that thing was rough. Me, I'm used to working in front of a computer all day long, and my back at the end was just freaking killing me. But we'll get it done anyway. All right, so let's go back to that video and keep going. And there we go. After I dig the whole thing, I'm sure I have the right depth. This is the part. That day was pretty freaking physical. Grinding the whole freaking thing, the entire sidewalk. That thing was physical. My back was just freaking killing me, but it is what it is. You have to get it done. So that's what I did. Grind the whole thing. When I was done digging around. And I strongly advise put a dust mask. So that thing, like you could see, that make a lot of freaking dust. I'm outside. Make a lot of dust. That freaking thing. I'm outside and I have wind. You could see the wind is pushing the dust on the other side here. The good thing I have wind, because other than that, I'm probably gonna just freaking die here. And here, I'm in freaking pain. My back is just freaking killing me. And you're gonna see here, I'm gonna say, fuck that job. I'm gonna shoot a finger. Here we go. Alright, don't be a pussy. Little stretch. And we're gonna get back at it. It is what it is, boys. We need to get that thing done. Take the tool. Here we go. Get back at it. Alright, boys, so the sidewalk, we dig the hole around it. We grind the whole freaking thing. And now there's a layer of dust on that thing. And of course, when you grind, in the sidewalk, sometimes you have a bump like half an inch, a little hole half an inch, quarter of an inch. You don't go through it with a grinder. So from there, I use a pressure washer. And I'm going to show you what I bought. Again, I'm going to put that in the description down below. I bought that pressure washer over here. Once in a while, you have good deal. And that's what I use. And I use the yellow bit over here. The yellow bit for the 15 degree. That's the one I use to have a good pressure to be able to clean in those holes. So this is what I use. The pressure washer over here. So, alright, let's go back to the video. I'm going to show me pressure wash the whole freaking thing. Let's get back at it. Let's get back to work. Okay, after that, when we're done grinding the whole thing, of course, when you grind, there's some, 1/8 of an inch hole to even sometimes 1/4 of an inch hole that you get into the grinder. So use a pressure wash and to go to those little deep hole. And of course, the whole sidewalk is full of dust because of the grinding, and you you use that to clean it, remove the dust, and go inside of those little hole that you wasn't able to go with the grinding. So that's it. I'm gonna go fast forward for that. It's not rocket science. It's just pressure wash the whole freaking thing. That's what it is. Okay, from there you need to put a bunch of picket all around those 2x4 to be able to adjust the height. You want to put a screw behind the picket and to hold the 2x4 the right height. So you have to put those picket, take a hammer, and you just hit that freaking thing until it's solid. That depends on the ground. The ground is soft, it's easy to do. If it's not soft, well, you need to hammer. Like that one over here go very, very, very good. Every hit but about, half an inch. And that's it. That's what you do all around. So usually I have a 2x4x8, so I put one on both ends and one in the middle. I try to put a 2x4 closer of the sidewall. That's why I use that crowbar over here, try to hold it there. So again, nothing rocket science, it's that's what I do. So I'm gonna go fast forward from there, boys, and that's it, but pick it around. So when you're done installing all those picket over here, you need to adjust the height of the form, and you use those picket that you use with a screw behind it, and you drill a screw to hold that 2x4. And on this side, I just use a regular 1x4, and that thing is 3/4 of an inch. And I just take that 3/4 of an inch at my reference to adjust the height of that form. And here I'm going to take the drill with a screw and screw that form to that picket to be sure it's at the right height and it's going to stay there. Here, same thing, I screw. Here we go. I think it's been screwed to hold the form. So on one side I put all the foam at 2/4 of an inch with my little 1x4, and on the other side I have to use a level, because that thing, the old concrete wasn't level at all. I mean, on the other side sometimes I have like 2-3 inch. It wasn't level at all. So I'm with my level over here, I adjust that 2x4, and like I said, I have to go to 2 inch and a half from some place. It was very, very bad. And of course you have to put that a little bit at the level the water is going to go, not towards the house, on the other side, because you always try to get the water away from the house. So this is what I'm doing here with that level. So the form towards the road over here, it's at 3/4 of an inch, and on the other side I have to take the level to put it at the right level, and I level the whole thing that the water is going to go away from the house. So this is pretty much what I'm doing here. And when the whole thing is leveled, I screw again, take a screw, 3-inch screw, screw that towards the picket and that 2x4 to hold that form at the right place. So this is what I'm doing here. So again, it's not rocket science. I'm gonna go fast forward from there. And one last thing I forgot to tell, I mean the spec of the material that I use at SandMix, they said don't go more than 2-inch. I don't know why, there's probably a good reason for that, maybe there's not a good reason for that, but I want to follow those instructions. I think the maximum that I go was 2.5 inches, even sometimes I have to go 3-inch. Because the old SideWalk was so unlevel, wasn't leveled at all. So I try to respect that. I cheat a little bit. In some places I put 1/2 inch more. With the final result, I don't see any problem so far, but most of the time I try to follow the instruction of the manufacturer that said, look, don't go more than 2 inch, but on this time I cheat a little bit. Alright boys, so far the form, it's finally done. We cleaned the whole thing. Let's do a quick tour and take a look at it. So over here, I didn't show it on the video, I built that little thing there, but the main form is right there. Just want to show you over here, look. Someplace I'm almost at 2 inch. That thing is not level at all. It's going all over the place. So look, almost what? 1 inch and 7/8. On the other side I'm at 1 inch, 1/4 of an inch. Just to make you understand it's not level. Look, almost 1 inch, 7/8, whatever, 1/4. That little thing, I didn't show in the video, I built that little thing there. And here I'm almost at 2 inch. Yeah, the cameraman sucks. I am the cameraman. Look, 2 inch. And over there was the worst. That's the one I was supposed to put close to 3 inch, but I think I put at 2.5 inches. So look, I got my 3/4 of an inch, my reference. See, 2.5 inches. 2 inch what? In a quarter here. And it's getting worse. Yeah, 2 inch and 1/8. So the rest of it, This is going to be the first batch. And on the next video, I'm going to start pouring. And guys, it was too much. That first batch was way too freaking much. I poured that thing for 11 hours. It was too much. End of story. Finish right there. It was 11 hours of pouring. I almost freaking died doing this. So let's take a look at that thing look like so far. Thing look like this. And we build our forms for our first pouring. That's a lot to do in one day. On this video, I pour for 11 hours to do that little thing there. So this is the form that we built, and I explained the whole thing in the previous video here. So this is what this thing looked like. So that's it. Let's get to work again and let's pour that cement. But before that, I'm going to show you guys no matter all the material that I use to pour that thing. So let's take a look at it. Okay, before we pour the whole thing, I want to do a little bit of a theory that you guys understand what is the concrete, the difference between the concrete and the sand mix that we gonna put in there. We're gonna put some sand mix on that thing. So let's take a look. What is concrete? Concrete is Portland cement, air, water, sand, and gravel. So what we're gonna use, we're going to use everything that we built for the concrete except the gravel is going to be removed because we just pour. The maximum thickness that we're going to put in there is between 1/2 inch and 2 inch. So that's the reason why we don't have gravel. So we're going to have Portland cement, air, water, and the sand. So let's take a look at the product that we're going to use. The product that we're going to use, where I'm living, we have home hardware, and I have to go there. It's a small freaking town where I'm living, and I don't have too much choice. So look, this is what we're going to use. They call that sand top mix. And that product is like concrete, but you don't have the gravel. And that product is used to, look right here, you see it, for patching and resurfacing damaged concrete up to 2-inch thickness. So this is what we're going to do. And before we pour that thing on our old concrete, we need to put some glue. And here's the glue that we're going to use. We're going to use that glue over here. They call that cement bond. And that thing is a liquid mixture used in patching and resurfacing, cement surface to improve overall stretch, adhesion, abrasive resistance. So that's the whole idea over here. Improve adhesion. It's a glue. We're gonna use that to glue the old concrete with the new one. And also, I also use this little thing over here. I find that at Amazon. It's fiberglass. And that fiberglass is to prevent the cracking. And also reinforce the concrete in there. So it's to prevent the cracking and reinforce the concrete in there. So right now they say currently unavailable, but look, I'm going to put the link. Every product that I have over here, I'm going to put the link down there. And that one over here is currently unavailable. I'm going to put the link down there anyway, and you guys could do your own homework to find those products. So that's it. Let's get do it, boys. Let's get to work. So you guys know what I'm using, and let's get to work. All right. One last thing that it's super important. Right now, I'm working outside, and what they advise, the best temperature to pour concrete outside or play with cement is between experts agree that the best temperature for pouring concrete is between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. In Celsius, it's between 4 degrees Celsius and 15 degrees Celsius with no sun. No sun. So there's all kind of things you need to think about. Last year, I poured my concrete at plus 27 degrees Celsius. In Fahrenheit, I'm gonna have to do the math. I don't remember it. But that thing I have what we call plastic shrinkage. I got airline crack all over the place. And on my previous video, I show it. All the black line that you have down there, I cover it with a special product to cover the crack. So there's something, boys, when you do that project, you need to think about. Maximum temperature 15 degrees Celsius with no sun. And of course, another thing that you need to think about. If it rains, you cannot pour concrete outside if it rains. So think about it. No sun, no rain. So I have to be cloudy with no rain. So it's pretty difficult to have the best freaking temperature outside. Me on that project, I'm not gonna lie, I poured that thing at was plus 24. I started the morning at 10 and in the middle of the afternoon was at plus 24. But the shadow of the house and the sun was on the other side, so the shadow helped me. The sun was not right where I was pouring my concrete, so that helped me a lot. So something to have in your head, boys, the temperature if you pour a concrete or SandMix outside. Alright, let's get back at it. Okay, here we go, we are ready to pour. So I didn't show in that video over there, but I wet the cement before. Look, you could see the color over here. When I'm gonna put that cement, it's wet. It's not damn wet, it's damp. It's damp. I put water in there. So I put my first bag. Another thing that I put in there, I'm gonna put that in the link down there. I put some fiberglass that help to prevent the crack. So I put some fiberglass. I'm gonna put the link down there. I'm gonna put a picture also. And I put that in there to prevent a crack. That helped to prevent the crack and put that thing more durable. So I got my bucket with a mark on it. You see that black mark over there? With the right amount of water. And I'm ready to the first bag. Here we go. And that thing I did that by hand. It was quite a bit physical. But it is what it is. I get it done. And this is the fiberglass that I'm talking about. I'm going to put a little bit of that fiberglass in there, a tiny bit. See, I didn't put too much. I got the whole bag for here, a little bit of fiberglass for one bag. Put that in there. And I'm not gonna lie, some bag I forgot to put that freaking thing. In the place I forgot, believe it or not, that thing cracked. And also, I'm not gonna lie, I pour for about 11 hours. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It was way too much. I should separate that in two days. 6 hours, take my time, and another 6 hours, another day, take my time. Because at the end, my bag was just freaking killing me. At the end, my bag was just freaking killing me. I poured for 11 hours, was too much. You know, so I'm a 50-year-old man, so I'm not in my 20s anymore. My brain is in my 20s, and my body remind me every day I'm 50. I'm not 20 anymore. So anyway, my advice is 4 or 6 hours and another day for 6 hours. That would be my advice. There we go. That thing is too much. I didn't take a shot with the camera because I just want to get that thing done. It's a little bit too thick, so I had a little bit more water. And by experience, and sometimes you just add a little bit more water because it's too thick. And that little bit more water made that freaking concrete just like super liquid, despite that you had a tiny bit. I learned that. And sometimes I had to add, because it was too liquid, I had to add more. I'm not going to use the wood concrete on that thing because it's a sand mix. I had more sand mix. I'm just going to call that cement. I had more cement. So here we go, boys. The important thing. This is the glue. The glue that I'm talking about. You spread that all over the place. It's super liquid. And where you put that in, the instruction said you have 20 minutes. 20 minutes to put that new cement on it. 20 minutes. That's the instruction. Don't ask me why. Again, I'm a DIY homeowner. I do my thing myself. But that's the instruction. And I try to follow. So now my first bag is ready to put in. So I put the glue. And I got 20 minutes to put that thing on it. So here we go. Boom. Let's put the mud in. And usually what I was doing, I was probably mixing between 4 and 5 bags. And after that, I cleaned that wheelbarrow. I cleaned that wheelbarrow with a hose and cleaned the whole freaking thing. It's pretty much what I was doing. 4, 5 bags, you know. Now I did a mistake here. I put that freaking wheelbarrow over here. So look, take a 2x4 and even out the whole thing. That's how you're supposed to do it. 2x4, and you even out the whole thing. That's with enough coat of picket in the way, but it is what it is. You have to deal with it. And we'll see here, I think on that second bag, I didn't put a fiberglass, boys. I didn't put a fiberglass and that freaking thing cracked right away. That thing cracked right away. So that fiberglass make a huge difference. Because I see on my first bag, I put quite a bit. And the final result is there's no crack whatsoever on my first bag. Now after that, I have quite a bit of a crack, because I'm pretty sure I didn't put it. We'll see if I put it in. Yeah, here we go, boys. I didn't put a fiberglass on that second bag. I didn't put a fiberglass at all, and you'll see the final result, that thing cracked like crazy. And over here, that 2x4 I used to equalize the whole thing. Of course, every batch I clean it. I clean that 2x4 for sure. So here guys, I'm about to make a big, huge mistake. The mistake I'm gonna make is I'm gonna start finishing already. You cannot take that trolley when you just look right there. You're not supposed to do that at all. And that thing, what happens when you do that is you put a thin layer of hair on the surface when you do that fucking trolley. If you use a trolley too early, you put a thin layer of air right under that concrete, the cement, and that thing will cause what we call delamination. That thing, look right there, right there. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to do that at all. You do that when you wait. You have to wait almost 4 or 5 hours before doing this. That's a big mistake right fucking there. And you'll see the final result what happened there. I got delamination. That's what happened there. I started to finish way too freaking early. And boys, I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life. I'm not supposed to do the trolley too freaking early. Yeah, right there, look at that. I'm not supposed to do that at all. That caused that little layer of air between, right on top, between the cement and the top, because about the finishing of concrete. You need to use an edger to put the edge of that concrete round, and every 4 or 5 feet, you use another tool to put a line in the sidewall. That the theory behind it is, if the sidewalk move, the crack is gonna go to that line that you create. So let's take a look for the edger. What are we using for tools? So for tool for the edger, this is what we use over here. You could see over here, we're gonna put that all on the side of the sidewalk. That little round thing here, we're gonna create a round on the sidewalk. And to create that line in the middle of the sidewalk, this is a tool that I use over here. So you create that line. Look what that thing look like. To look like there's a little thing in the middle. That thing create the line. And those tools, of course, I do that once in a while. Might never do that the rest of my life. Look, $14 for that tool. Very cheap. $14 Canadian. And this one, $13. $13 Canadian. So this is what I use for tool to do my finishing. And also you got to see me with a broom to have a broom finish. To have a broom finish, you could use whatever the broom that you have, and you just put your broom in there. You got to see on the video when I'm working, what I'm doing. And also for the finishing, boys, super freaking important. My last video, I talk about this. If you start to do your finish too early, you're going to create the lamination. Go see that video right here. Very, very important. I talk about the lamination. Go see that video that you understand what the lamination is. If you finish too early, you're not create the lamination, and your job's going to look like shit. Go see that video. All right, boys, so let's go back to work and get that finishing done. Okay, what I'm doing here, I'm doing the finishing. That's what we call it. And I'm doing the edge. I'm going to show a picture of which tool that I use just to do the edge. So basically, you go back and forward, just put a round around the corner. I'm going to show you the tool that I use for that. And around every 4 or 5 feet, you have to put a line between the concrete, that if the concrete move, all the cracks gonna go through that line. And that's gonna be the next step that I'm gonna do. You'll see it. I'm gonna get it on right now. I'm gonna take a 2x4. I'm gonna put it. You see it right there. Take a 2x4. And you need another tool for that, another special tool. They're cheap, around $10. And here we go. I'm going to shoot a picture of the tool that I use. And I'm going to create a line about 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch between the concrete. And if the concrete moves, the crack is going to go through that line. That's the theory behind this. This is the theory behind this. So here we go. You're going to see we're going to remove my 2x4 here. The line is going to be there. So you do that when the concrete is about, I don't know, 2-3 hours. You pour it 4 or 5 hours. That depends. That depends on how dry it is. So you see that line over here. You call that finishing the concrete. And again, I repeat it. If you finish too early, you're going to create delamination in your freaking concrete. That means you're going to create a thin layer of hair under the concrete, and the whole thing is going to crack. It's not going to be solid. The first 1/32 inch on that concrete. If you finish too early. And that's what I did, unfortunately. I finished too early. I didn't know. But it is what it is. Make a mistake, you learn, and it is what it is. So this is what I'm doing right now, boys. I'm finishing the edge. Every 4 or 5 feet, I create that line. And the theory of that line, I just said to you, is to that thing move, the crack is gonna go in that line. And this is what I'm doing here. When it's dry enough, you create a broom tip, a finished broom, that when you're gonna walk on it, you're not gonna slip. You're gonna have a little roughness about it. And again, when you do that finish, you need to wait that the concrete is dry, not completely dry, kind of hard enough. And if you finish too early, you're gonna create a delamination again. So that's it. Little video here when I was doing my finishing. I was finishing that concrete. You need to do that when it's not quite dry, but when the concrete is kind of hard. You do the finish when it's kind of hard. You don't do that when it's freaking wet. And that's a mistake that I made. Okay, so this is the part of my video about the finishing. I'm gonna leave it at that, and that's it. Okay, boys, now we're gonna talk about curing. And the whole idea of curing is for the next month, you still have a chemical process that's going on inside of the concrete, despite that the concrete is dry. For the next month, you still have a chemical process that concrete is gonna get harder and harder and harder and harder over time. And this is the curing process. And that thing lasts minimum a month. So what is curing? So let's take a look at it. And the curing is for the next at least 7 days, you keep that moisture moist. You need to take a water hose and you water that freaking concrete to keep it moist. That helps for the curing process. That helps that concrete is going to be harder. If you don't put water on it, you don't keep it moist, the curing is not going to be successful. So you need to keep that freaking concrete moist. So look, most curing is a common method of concrete curing. It involves wetting the concrete slab often with water 5 to 7 times per day. So I'm assuming you're up at least 60 hours a day. So on that 60 hour, wet that freaking thing between 5 and 7 times. And they said 5 to 7 times per day for the first 7 days. So the first 7 days are critical that you keep that freaking concrete wet. So let's take a look why. The reason is for the first 7 days, the first 7 days of concrete being placed and finished, the concrete will reach 70% of its potential strength. So right here for the first 7 days, it's going to reach 70% of its potential strength. So you need minimum 7 days, you keep that freaking thing wet, and you wet that thing between 5 to 7 times per day. At least for the first 7 days. And look what they said after that for when it reached day 28. So after that 7 days, the next 21 days, the concrete will reach 90% of its overall compression strength. So again, you could keep going after that 7 days. For the next 21 days, that thing's going to go from 70% to 90%. But the first 7 days are fucking crucial. You need to keep that thing wet. And look what the curing do. Retaining moisture in the slab so the concrete continue to gain strength. Delay drying shrink. That when you keep that thing moist, you delay the drying shrinkage until the concrete is strong enough to resist the shrinking crackage. Keeping the concrete moist, properly curing concrete improve the strength, durability, water thickness, and wear resistance. So that curing, boy, is important. You need to keep that freaking thing wet. So I'm gonna go to the video here. I'm gonna show you I remove the form, and before I remove the form, I wait at least 48 hours. So let's go back to work and take a look at the video that I remove the form. Let's go back to work. Okay, that video, there's not too much comment. I mean, the whole idea you'll see over here, I'm gonna take that drill and remove that screw on every picket to be able to remove that 2x4. So there's no much comment, boys. I remove the screw on every picket and that's it. Well, most of the pickets have been removed, and look, those 2x4, they're easy to remove. They didn't stick on the concrete, they didn't stick on anything. It was very, very easy to remove. Yeah, this one was a little bit, it wants to stick a little, so I have to take a hammer and slightly hit it and go crazy. And you could see over here what I'm telling you, that one side I put 3/4 of an inch and the other side I put almost 2 inch. Just told you that the old sidewalk wasn't level at all. So by pouring the new one, I leveled the whole thing. You could see it very, very clearly there. And I got delamination. It is what it is. My next video, we're gonna get rid of those delamination. Show you guys what I did. And this is my edge. I put the edge all over the place, and you could see it's round. It's round, and that's the main goal to those edge. It's round. And you see the line in the middle here. That's supposed to help for the crack if something moves. You'll see on the other side. Here, that's how it looks like. I'm happy with the result. Not happy with the delamination. I got some delamination at some place. It's not bad. It's not bad. Second time I'll even do that. Second time. It's not bad. And we're gonna do the rest later on. And we'll just talk about curing. You can see my water hose ready to go. So here we go, the curing process, boy. You take that thing wet. Every time you pour, you keep it wet. So repeat again for the next 7 days. That thing is very, very important. Just gotta think about it. Think about all the work that you put in there, and you forgot that little thing here. You don't keep it wet. And the quality of your work go down the drain despite all the freaking crazy work that you put. So look, boys, it's freaking important. That part here, super important. It's been 21 days that thing's been curing. And the first 7 days, I tried to drown the crap out of it just to have a good curing. So now it's been 21 days. The mistake that I made a video about that delamination. That's what we're going to take care of today. In this video, we're going to take care of that delamination thing. So I'm going to take my grinder, take a look what I'm going to put on that grinder. I'm going to put that wheel over here. I don't want to put a concrete one because I want that thing to be smooth. I want that thing to be aggressive. The concrete is quite kind of fresh, 21 days. So I'm going to use this thing over here. So this is what I'm going to use. So let's take a look after 21 days what that thing look like with that delamination. It's bad. I don't like it, but we're going to take care of it. It is what it is. So let's take care of it. This is how it look like. The first 1/32 inch of an inch right on the surface, and some places just chipped out because I play way too much with it and I create delamination. And you saw crack in there. The crack I don't really care about it. I'm going to do another video what I'm going to do about it. I'm not really worried about it. But that thing I don't like it. On the surface, that thing chipped out. My grinder is ready right there. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. And again, it's not rocket science. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to grind the whole freaking thing again with that grinding wheel that I just showed you. That's what I'm going to do. The whole freaking thing, just to be sure I remove a thin layer, to be sure where I am, it's solid. That's my goal here. To be sure that I remove all that delamination, the mistake that I made that I talked about in the previous video. I'm going to put the link right there. You're going to see it. So look, there's not too much to say about it. I'm going to grind that freaking thing for about, I don't know, an hour and a half. And from there, I'm going to go fast forward, boys. There's nothing rocket science about it. So enjoy it. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you the result, what that thing look like. And look, I did something stupid here. Look, no dust mask, no safety glass. Now I think I'm gonna go get my dust mask. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna realize, oh, I need safety glass. I'm gonna get it later on. So I don't know, boy, safety. Need the whole friggin' thing. Okay, guys, now I'm just gonna put everything straight. The previous video, you guys remember we used that tool over here to put a groove between every 4 or 5 feet. We make a line right beside the sidewalk every 4 or 5 feet, and we assume that if the sidewalk moves, the crab's gonna go in that groove. Now, what I do is I want to fill that groove with caulking, because on winter time when you go down there with a shovel and you shovel that sidewalk and bang, you hit that groove. It's basically a hole. It's a pain in the butt. It's not fun to work with those holes. So I'm gonna show you guys what I did here. So I used a product over here, self-leveling sealant made by Quikrete, and boys, it's just a caulking specially made for concrete. Look, I made one over here. You see what it looks like when it's dry? It's just to fill that groove over here. It's solid right now. So I'm show you how I did it. Yeah, more advertisement. Quikrete self-leveling sealer. That's what I use. And that's the groove over here. Right now that groove is not filled, and we're gonna fill it. I got those little plate of metal here. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this. So just gonna clean the groove, be sure there's no shit not inside of it. And I use those little plate of metal. It's self-leveling, it's kind of liquid, just to prevent that thing's not gonna go too much on the side. It's gonna stick on that metal bar that I put in there. This is to prevent everything to not go off that groove, stay inside of that groove. It's self-leveling. And that product is freaking awesome. And I also use that product. I'm going to show you that in another video. Those little airline crack. I use that product just to put it in there, just to prevent the water to go inside in winter time. That thing freeze and break it. Put a thin layer. I'm going to show that in another video. So regular caulking gun, put the freaking thing in there and start, put it in. Just fill the groove, it's not rocket science. And the beauty, like I said before, it's self-leveling. Because it's self-leveling, you do a bump or whatever, that thing's gonna level itself. That's awesome. I try to do my best. One camera, a gun, and the other. One hand I have the camera, and the other hand I have the gun. So that's it. This is all. You fill the groove with that product. So that thing has been curing for a month now. And now we got some little airline that have formed in the sidewall. Little tiny crack of the size of a hair. It's all in there. And if we don't fix it, where I live in Canada, the water is going to go inside of the crack. In winter, the water is going to freeze. And what's going to happen? The water is going to expand and destroy nice and slow our sidewalk. So what we need to do is put a caulking above that crack to be sure the water don't go in there. It's that freaking simple. So the last video, put a link right there. We use a caulking for the expansion joint to cover the expansion joint, and I explained the whole thing. Just take a look at that previous video. We're going to use the same caulking. So, long short story, let's take a look at what the caulking look like. This is what the caulking look like. We'll use that quick read, grease self-leveling, polyurethane sealant. That's what that thing look like. So quick product. This is what we're using. And let's take a look at what a crack could look like. This is what the crack that we're going to fix. See, I'm going to remove my big head. Right here, right above my head. There's a crack right there. And I'm going to fix that thing. So let's get it on. So I should have cracked my finger. I got a couple of them. And keep in mind that thing has been curing for a month. It's been curing for 28 days. And this is kind of the amount of time that you need to wait. It's right there. So that's the product that I use. Doesn't quite look like the picture that I have to show you. For some reason, the company just changed the label on it, but it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. So this is what I use like that. So what you saw over here, look, what you saw over here is the SandMix that I use to resurface the sidewalk. Is the exact SandMix that I use. So that's what I use for the SandMix. I use that thing over here. Quick Read product again, sand top mix. So that thing is Portland cement with sand. You don't have the gravel in that product, because I just resurfaced the whole thing. I put between 1/2 inch and 2 inch to resurface that sidewalk. So this is what I use. This is what you see in my video right here. This is what you see right here. So another crack has been formed. This is what those cracks look like. And we're gonna put the caulking. Another one right here that formed. Put caulking in there. And we're gonna use that SandMix. We're gonna put that above the caulking to have just to have the color. Just to have the color. You see at the end of the video the final result. So the caulking is not rocket science. You just put that on that freaking crack. Small thin line. And after that, you'll see. I take my finger and I try to push that sealant inside the crack. That's it. Take the finger and I just pull that freaking thing right in there. Now you have a choice. You could put a powder above it, or you leave it like it is right now. You have a choice to make. You decide what you want. Me, I decided to put that little powder, which is the SandMix that I use to resurface. You pour that above it. That's what I decide to do. That's going to give a little line. You'll see the line. It's going to give him a cool look, in my opinion. Just put that above. And we're going to go to the next one. It's the same bullshit, guys. It's the same bullshit. So not too much comment. I'm gonna shut up and and it's up to you. You could take all kind of different powder to give different color, I guess. I never try it. Me, I decided to take the SandMix. Alright, so after that, so I put several of them I put the powder, I put the sealant, put my finger, put the powder, put it above it. And to be sure that that powder go inside of the sealant, you just take you'll see over here. You just take your hand and you tap it. You tap it to be sure that that's gonna go inside of that sealant over here. And after that, you wait at least 24 hours. You let the whole fucking thing dry. And of course, take a look at the weather guide to be sure that it's not gonna rain. Because in my case, I use a SandMix, so if that water going in there, that thing's gonna become hard. And I don't want that thing to be that wide. So I wait 24 hours, and after that, you'll see what I'm gonna do. After 24 hours, I take the broom and I remove the excess powder. It's been 24 hours. I put that caulk in, take my finger right above the crack. I put the powder, my SandMix, put it above it. I take it off the weather, no rain. So now it's been 24 hours. Now you're gonna see I'm gonna take the broom and remove all the excess of the powder that I put above it. So let's go back to work and let's remove the excess of the powder after 24 hours. Let's take the broom, remove the whole fucking thing. It's dry. And look, this is how that thing looks like now. It gives that kind, my opinion, kind of a cool look. Nice little black thing that came out over here. So this is how I fix all those little hairlines. This is why you see on my sidewall those black things. It's a hairline that's been formed, and this is what I do to fix it. This is what I do. And if you pour that freaking cement when the weather is super warm, you're gonna have a lot of those fucking crack hairline that's gonna be formed. You're gonna have a lot of them, a lot. So now I'm gonna go closer and I'm gonna take a look at what that thing looks like. The final result. And you know what? What I advise also, and I'm gonna show it later on the crack that I fix. Put water on that SandMix, that cement SandMix. Put water. That thing's gonna harden a little bit on top. It's gonna be hard. Put some water on that freaking thing. That's gonna help to stay together. Get out of here, you fucking cat. So I'm gonna move the camera. I'm gonna go on the other side of my sidewall. You'll see, You'll see there's a bunch of line that I fix. And I take my broom, I remove the excess. Now you're just gonna see me take the water and put a shitload of water on that those little hairlines that I fill with the caulking, the SandMix. And that SandMix is gonna become hard because of the water. So that's going to help to solidify what I did. So let's get to work and you'll see. Water is on. And I'm going to spread the whole freaking thing. And you see all those lines. It's all over the place. And the only reason I do that is just to solidify those lines of water. So now we're gonna go closer and take a look at the final result. I have a shitload of line over here, boys. Look at that. This is the final result. And one of them, I forgot to put the powder on it. You see it's more of a gray right there. It's more of a gray. I forgot to put the powder on it. And you could see the difference with the powder and without the powder. So you guys could decide what you want to do here. So closer, this is how that thing looks like. Got a shitload of airline crack on that thing, and that's how I fix it. And look, last year, I did that last year. With all that one was cracked. I have crack everywhere. So let's take a look of the whole project. We start from here, boys. Resurfacing that sidewalk was quite a bit of work. And this, and after that, we go to the street. This is the final project. So we're almost done. Okay, boys, it's been more than 2 months, close to 2 months and a half, getting almost at 3 months, since we poured that sidewalk and all that. And now what you're going to see on that video, I'm just putting a sealant. I'm putting a sealant all in just to protect it. And they said you have to put that sealant every between 4 and 6 years. So we're going to take a look which kind of material that I use for that sealant. So let's take a look at it. Sealant that I use is that one here. I buy that at Home Hardware. I want the low gloss sealer. I use that. I have a little container right here. I have a whole brush. I don't need anything fancy. There's just some almost water that we put. And I have that wire brush over here. The wire brush, I use that to, even with the broom, because you also need a broom, and the broom don't remove some dirt on it. You know when you cut your grass and you have some green stuff that stay on the cement and the sidewall, you use that wire here just to clean it. And here you have the direction on that thing. I use a brush. I use a brush to clean that sidewalk. That's what I use. And I'm going to show you now the wire brush. What I have, I need a wire brush. Look, show you. You see the dirt that you have right here? I'm going to take the broom and try to remove it. It's not going to work. That's why you need a wire brush. See, I brush it. Don't want to go away. It's kind of stick on it. So now I'm going to take the wire brush, just clean the damn thing. See, now it's going away. That's why you need a wire brush. Clean the dirt. Make that thing look good. After that, you take the regular broom and you brush it. Brush the whole thing. That's why you need a wire brush. I'll do a little example here where you need a wire brush. Brush that thing. Take a regular broom and you remove it. So that's why you need a wire brush. So now I'm getting ready to clean the whole thing. And like I said, it's been raining for about 3 days, on and off, and good rain. So that helped me to have that sidewalk clean. It's been raining quite a bit, so that's a big help. And because it's been raining, the grass is kind of tall, and on the side, the grass go on the sidewalk. So I'm going to remove all that grass to be sure when I paint or put the sealer, the grass not going to be in the way. That's what I'm doing right there. So I go crazy, I remove all the grass on both sides. I start with this side and I remove the grass. That's all I'm doing. So there's not too much to say about that. I'm going to go fast forward from that. That's what I'm doing. Just remove the grass. see something? Okay, from here you're gonna see. Of course, when I remove that grass, I got a bunch of dirt that I put on that sidewalk because I removed the grass, and now I'm just wiping that out. And you're gonna see me use that wire brush, like my little demonstration that I did before. So I'm just keep cleaning that thing. That's all I'm doing right now. Cleaning that damn thing to get ready to put that sealant. So I'm going to disappear. Look at that. I reappear. Oh look, I use my brush right now. My big head. Okay, so you got the idea. I remove the grass, and now after that I clean everything with the broom and that brush. And this is what I'm doing. So here we go. Take that sealant. Instead to shake that thing like crazy. Now I have my little container, so I'm gonna take that thing, put that in my little container, and I'm gonna start to spread it. Again, it's nothing rocket science, boys. You take that thing and you start to spread. Even if you have oh look, when I spread it, I didn't put the camera close, but you could have tiny little puddles. It's not the end of the world. If you have tiny little puddle, yeah, I'd be sure I soak it. I soak it very good. That thing's gonna go inside, and if there's a little puddle in there, it's no big deal. So we go. I'm gonna remove my big head again, and that's it, guys. I'm just spreading that sealant. That's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to reposition my big head on the other side. So that's it. Look, I'm done. You just put the sealer on, and that's how you put the sealer on. I want to show you what I do and material that I use. I'm living in a small town, so we have home hardware and haze in Canada. That's all we have, and that's what I want to show you. I'm just going to show you one more thing. It's the final result. I think I'm gonna do a video an hour later, so let's take a look at it. So over here I run out of material, so I have to stop. So you see the old and the new. The old at the bottom, I run out of material, and the one that I put the sealer you see on top. You could see a little bit of different of color. Different of color. Me, I really don't care. I really don't care about the color. Look, you see the difference over here. The one that I put, the one I didn't put yet, I'm going to put it later on. And this is what that thing looks like with the ceiling on. And I put the whole thing over here, it's all done. And this is how it looks like. So now I'm on the other side, and again, the ceiling has been put on about an hour or two ago. It's about what, 25 degrees Celsius. I'm gonna have to do the math. I don't know how much it is in Fahrenheit, but it's about 25 degrees Celsius outside. It's quite warm. And an hour later, so that thing dried kind of pretty quick, and you saw the difference of color. Okay, so I'll remove my big head here. Gonna see a little bit better. Get out of here, you prick. Yeah. So you see it with the sealant. That's what it looks like. Gonna be protected. Protected for 4 years. I don't have to fuck around with it for 4 years. That's good. No black line over here. I patch it with a caulking. With remove the crack. There's some crack in there. I showed that in the previous video. So this is with the sealant on, that's how it looks like. I'm happy with it. I'm freaking happy. I've got stupid delamination, but I'm learning. It is what it is. I see the delamination. So I'm going to shadow. I'm going to do those steps probably next year. Those steps look like shit. Okay guys, so let's go back. Boom, big. And that's it. I put a sealant on and I'm done with that thing. Guys, if you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.